Welcome to Southside News Today. It's Sunday, February 7th. I'm Chuck Vipperman reporting. Southside News Today is brought to you by Redeemed Christian Dance Studio on Crankhead Street and by Shanks Associates, serving the land surveying and engineering needs of Southside and Southwest Virginia for 34 years. There are still more questions than answers after a weekend shootout at a Martinsville restaurant that left 2 people dead, 2 more badly injured, and an officer involved. It happened Friday night at El Norteño restaurant in the Patrick Henry Mall on Church Street. Martinsville police say 2 groups of people got into an argument inside. It escalated into violence and gunfire. A 23-year-old man and a 33-year-old man, both of Martinsville, were killed inside. A third man ran outside, was followed by 2 gunmen into the parking lot. They began firing at him. Those shots were overheard by a Martinsville police officer in his vehicle on nearby patrol. Now, the officer approached the 2 men, shot at them, hit one of them. Both then ran back into the restaurant. More officers arrived. About a dozen patrons and 20 workers were rescued after being trapped inside with the 2 shooters. Now, autopsies are scheduled on the 2 victims. Their names have not been released, pending notification of next of kin. And state police are investigating since a Martinsville police officer was involved. A couple hours later, less than a mile away, Martinsville police found out about another shooting, this one at a Valero convenience store on Brookdale Street. The clerk said gunshots were fired between 2 cars in the parking lot. Both cars then sped off. A shooting victim later arrived at the local hospital, was airlifted to Roanoke. Authorities are looking for 20-year-old Ombe Johnson and 19-year-old Desane Hairston. Authorities say this shooting was indirectly connected with the larger gunfire at the restaurant. In other news, a local public-private partnership that's been heading up vaccination clinics in the Danville area made a stop in Pittsylvania County this weekend. They set up Saturday at the Cherrystone Ministry Baptist Association on Tom Fork Road. More than 700 people got their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. It's part of an outreach effort to bring the vaccine closer to at-risk populations. City and county are working with the State Department of Health, SOVA, and AVERIT as part of these clinics. Meantime, State Department of Health reporting local numbers and new cases are leveling off a bit. The morning update today showed 24 new cases in Danville, down slightly from a 1-week average of 32. In Pittsylvania County, 21 new cases, about 40% lower than the 1-week average. There were 3 new COVID-19 deaths reported over the weekend, bringing the local toll to 117. The owner and sole occupant of a Danville house that caught fire last week is charged with setting the fire intentionally. Danville Fire Marshal's office says the Wednesday blaze at a single-story house on Fries Road was incendiary. Lottie Thomas was arrested over the weekend, is currently being held in the city jail, charged with arson. It took firefighters about 30 minutes to bring the blaze under control. A dog was killed in the fire. Mountain Valley Pipelines asking a federal court to send notice of condemnation to the owners of 31 tracts of land in Pittsylvania County. The land will be used by the pipeline to finish its course through northeastern Pittsylvania County to where it terminates at the Transco station east of Chatham. The pipeline got federal regulatory approval late last year. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission declared the pipeline a public convenience and necessity. Now, those landowners have 21 days to answer. Failure to answer is considered consent. The 300-mile pipeline's projected cost is $6 billion. Both chambers of the General Assembly this weekend passed measures that would legalize marijuana for adult recreational use in Virginia. But there are still differences to be resolved. They'll have to be worked out before they can be sent to Governor Ralph Northam, who could make more changes. The differences center around when retail sales would be allowed and how tax revenues would be spent. Local delegates Danny Marshall and Les Adams, along with Southside State Senators Bill Stanley and Frank Ruff, all voted no. A bill aimed at preventing suicides at Virginia's shooting ranges by requiring a background check for gun rentals was rejected this weekend in the state Senate. Sponsor Creed Deed cited 2 suicides within 5 days at the Greentop shooting range in Hanover County, both men in their 20s with a history of mental illness. Neither was given a background check before renting a gun, turning the weapons on themselves. Neither federal nor state law requires background checks for rentals at shooting ranges. The Senate sent the bill back to a committee. In local sports, we're getting ready for regional basketball action in the weirdest of winter sports seasons. On Friday, Xavier Walters hit a pair of free throws. Jacoby Dixon got a big steal at the end to give GW a 54-48 win over Halifax County. In this year's abbreviated season, it was only the 5th game for the Eagles, the 2nd for the Comets. Both of them losses to the Eagles. They'll now be playing a third game tonight in the first round of the Region 4D basketball tournament. Next up on Southside Evening News, we'll unveil a new feature. We want this newscast to bring accurate, professional, and unbiased coverage of the events in Southside Virginia, but we also want to promote overall positivity. We're proud today to unveil a daily segment courtesy of local life coach Dr. Joey Fawcett called Live Positive.
I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett, coaching you to live positive today. Do you like your spot? One of our house plants, it happened to be a philodendron, sat on the sill of the bay window in our kitchen. I watered and fed it, and it grew some, but not particularly well. Got plenty of sun, I thought, and it did okay, but I was hoping for more from that little plant. So I brought it over to my office, and I put it on a desk by a window that faces west. Put some fertilizer on it, watered it, and it started to grow. In fact, it grew so prolifically that my wife came to my office one day and she said, "That philodendron is taking over your desk. What'd you do to it?" I told her I just put some fertilizer on it, watered it. I guess it likes this spot. I'm kind of like that philodendron, aren't you? There's some spots in life I just like better than others. Some life spots where I can grow and prosper and be who I'm uniquely created to be. In fact, when you live positive and make a life worth living, you discover your preferred life spot where you thrive best. Your life spot can be about your career, your relationships, your happiness. So live positive today and find the life spot intended for you. Coaching you to live positive today, I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett.
Thanks, Dr. Joey. Your forecast calling for clear skies, chilly conditions overnight, lows down to 22. Tomorrow, sunny, cold, highs 45. And that's a look at Southside News Today. I'm Chuck Vipperman. It's been brought to you by Redeemed Christian Dance Studio, Crankhead Street, and by Shanks Associates. I'm Chuck Vipperman. Have a great evening.